going on, everyone? Today we are going to be talking about XPL plasma, and I made a video about this really long time, not really long ago, but 3 weeks ago on the 30th of last month, and I was talking about how it's already dumping and how I think it's going to go lower, and just how I don't like the direction that it's going. And yeah, that's exactly what it did. Now, as you can see, it went from $1.04 in this video all the way down to 37 cents. So I mentioned how it's probably going to continue to dump. I'm going to talk about where I think this thing's going to go next. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's go over this. So as you can see here, currently we're at 37 cents. In this video, it was at $1.04. And yeah, it's been dumping ever since then. A member of the channel actually requested me to go over plasma. So that's why we're going over this again today. So shout out to the members. Go ahead and become a member of the channel, guys. It's only $9.99. And I can stop you guys from buying coins like this right before they dump, right? But anyways, let's talk about this. So what happened here? I truly believe that they launched at too high of a price, right? And let's go ahead and play this video so you can hear what I had to say about this before.
Came out and they just started launching everywhere. They got their own chain and everything. Like, I mean, this thing's launched too fast. This thing launched too fast. The value went too high, too fast. I don't think that it's worth 1.8 billion market cap right now. I think a pullback's inevitable. The fully diluted value is at 10.4 billion. There's honestly no telling how low this thing will pull back to. So what I'll end up saying here is I'm watching for the next Fibonacci support, right? It is down here at 88 cents. Well, at 90 cents, 88 cents, whatever one. It is actually 89 cents. Let's just say 90.
So yeah, that was just one of the videos I made about this, but I made several videos on plasma. But yeah, I think plasma started at too high of a valuation. I think the market cap was way too high. Multiple billions, like it was way too high. And then the fully diluted value on top of that was like $10 billion. So it was just way too crazy. All the exchanges listed it like literally left and right, back to back to back. Every exchange was listing plasma. Every single exchange was listing them. So I think that they just had too high of a launch, right? It was too big for their own good, and it drops. Either that, or there's some insiders and some whales dumping and manipulating the prices. Either is one or the other, right? It has to be. But let's talk about where I think that this thing can go next, because everyone wants to know, is it going to just randomly have a random breakout and an insane amount of growth? And the truth is, nobody knows whether or not it's going to just randomly pump, right? But we can look at the technicals and we can kind of see which direction is it about to go now. And before we talk about that, for the people that don't know, as you can see here, Plasma, they work with stablecoin infrastructure. So as you can see on their website, it says redefining how money moves, stablecoin infrastructure for a new global financial system. Plasma is a high performance layer 1 blockchain purpose built for stablecoins. So they built the blockchain purposely for stablecoins. It's designed for stablecoins. Transaction speeds, as you can see here, transactions per second, 1,000 plus. Something else that you can see, 100 plus countries, 100 plus currencies, 200 plus payment methods. And we're definitely going in the route of stable coins as it pertains to the United States and all around the world. Like, there's a lot of unstable economies in this world, and they need US dollars. So when you have stable coins, that's a very easy way for them to take their currency and put it into US dollars, so their money is more stable. Let's say someone in like a different country that's like their currency is heavily inflated, where it takes $1 million of their dollars just to buy a cup of coffee. They might as well move that money into a stable coin, some type of USD stable coin, to where now they don't have to have millions of dollars inside their own currency that only equals like $5, right? So that's the benefits of stable coins worldwide. This is their plasma scan. They're also on BNB, so they do have the Binance wallets as well. And like I was mentioning before, like this is a post that they just posted at over 300 billion in circulating supply. Stable coins now represent over 11% of US cash in circulation. So stablecoin use is really starting to increase worldwide, not even just in the US, but a lot of people worldwide want to hold US dollars, right? They need a way to do that pretty much. So these stablecoin platforms provide them a way. Also, they're integrated with BitGet as well, so it's hard for a lot of layer one blockchains to get integrated in a bunch of different wallets and exchanges. But Plasma is doing it pretty well, so I guess they're doing something good. But again, I think personally they just launched at too high of a price. Like that was literally all it was. They didn't have enough proof in the market that they're like the ones that are gonna bring stable coins to the forefront. But yeah. Anyways, XPL Plasma is now listed on Robinhood as well. They did this about a week ago on the 16th, almost 2 weeks ago. So that is all good as well. Currently, it is up 5.2% in the last 24 hours, 8% down in the last 7 days, 48% down in the last 14. Volume 240 million, market cap 672 million. I'm gonna be honest. This thing it could go lower. There's always that possibility, right? But let's go ahead and see where this thing could go. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Fibonacci and bring it even lower down because as you can see, it just continues to create new lows. So we got to go with the flow. Now, with the percent R trend exhaustion, this is a very important indicator right here, and this is kind of what I used to predict that this was going to continue to sell off. What's really important about the percent R trend exhaustion is the white line here is the short-term trend, right? And then the blue line is the long-term trend. Notice how the short-term trend has exceeded the long-term trend. It's broke away from it, but the long-term trend stays down. If the long-term trend stays down, what has to happen to the short-term trend? Has to come right back down. What does that do to the price? It brings the price down. We need both the long-term trend and the short-term trend increasing at one time. But unfortunately, it can't happen right now because, again, this is a coin that kind of launched with too much optimism. Like they didn't have, they just didn't have a good enough plan for how much traction they were going to get. Or they did have a plan and they sold at the top and they dumped on you guys. And I think that's probably what it was because they launched this thing pretty good. And it gets listed to all these exchanges, and out of nowhere, it starts dumping everything. Just starts to come out, and also someone in the comments of the previous video I made also mentioned they said that rumors are spreading that this is a slow scam, right? A slow draining scam, and there's always a possibility that you can get some bad actors with good coding skills, and they can make a good project. And you would never know that they're just trying to, drain you of all your money because, it seems so legit and you would never really know. So it is hard to tell. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. There's really no way to spin a technical analysis on this. And I'll show you guys why. There's no real patterns forming here, right? This thing is just kind of in a free fall and a consolidation phase right now. So it went in a free fall, and now it's kind of in like a consolidation. You can't even really say a falling wedge here because as you can see, it just kept protruding out of the falling wedge from there. So it wasn't even a falling wedge. So there's literally almost nothing that you can really do at this point, but wait. And a lot of different projects have this same pattern here. So it's really all contingent upon Bitcoin, whether or not Bitcoin is going to break out. Because if Bitcoin breaks out to the upside, everything else is going to start breaking out as well. And as you can see here, this would bring the price of Plasma or XPL up to 58 cents. That's the resistance here. So 58 cents from 36 cents. So that's something that you could definitely pay attention to. And obviously this here is a falling wedge. But here's my thing with the falling wedges that we've been seeing in the market currently, because everything's looking the same. So recently, all the falling wedges that we're seeing inside of the market, they're coming into the falling wedge from a downtrend. But typically for falling wedges, you have to come into it from an uptrend. Typically, it's best that we come in it from an uptrend and then go through our falling wedge and then another continuation, right? Because if you come in from a downtrend, you're almost in like rising wedge territory. without the wedge actually rising. You see what I'm saying? Like this is what the rising wedge does, right? You come into it bearish, and then it starts to rise, and then it tricks you, and it bull traps you, and then it keeps going. But see, we have kind of the inverse thing here where we came into it from a downtrend, but we came into the falling wedge from a downtrend. So we'll see what happens here. There is a chance that it could break out to the upside. If you see XPL breaking out, you want to look for 58 cents. But if we were to break down to the downside here with XPL, then you would want to expect it to go a little bit below this Fibonacci here, a little bit below it. So I would say look for 20 cents if it breaks out to the downside. You want to look for anywhere from like 24 cents right here at the support down to 20 cents if it breaks down to the downside. So there's a possibility that that can happen. But remember, this falling wedge is inside of every single crypto right now. Everything is kind of looking at a falling wedge, right? Pudgy Penguins has the same falling wedge right here. Everything is pretty much showing the same falling wedge at this point. You can see it there. And there's a lot of other coins that we could probably end up seeing it on, but I think Aster might be one where we have something similar to that as well. As you can see, I haven't really drew it out that much for Aster. It looks just like the falling wedge. Yeah, as you can see here, but Aster also has a little bit of a channel that I'm looking at too. So yeah, just about everything. And let's see, Advantis. I think Advantis just broke out of one. But yeah, Advantis has a whole bunch of different stuff. And this is another one that I called, and it might continue to run. And anyone who has time to buy this before I'm done with the Advantis video, because I'm gonna do the Advantis video next. A breakout should be happening right here, guys. To 90 cents. So I'm gonna really try to get this video out as soon as possible, because Advantis should be breaking out to 90 cents next. This is a ascending triangle. There is a chance it could fail. It doesn't have 100% success rate, but this is a bullish ascending triangle. That's what this is. So there's a possibility, but remember, it's overbought, it's overexhausted to the upside. It could be a fake out. It could be a bull trap, like I said before, but there's a high likelihood that it does break out. So I'm gonna put this video out now. Shout out to everyone. Hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Remember what I said about plasma and all that. Become a member of the channel. Only $9.99 per month. And you can have me go over any crypto or any stock. And yeah, that's about all I gotta say. As always, I'll be back with another video.